These days, even my own screams sound vacant. Do they have a purpose? Does anything? Will anything? These aren't my questions to answer. But I'm not sure if I could answer them myself either. Let's load. Alright. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Thank you. Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate.
Whoa.
All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
What? What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at the legal sex age of 18. That was impossible, and yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Sounds like we got some parental issues going on.
Dear.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
That will also be hers. She will publish all auto blows that we make.
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
I see. One sec. I'm sorry. I'm checking my Audacity. My waveforms. I should be good. Yeah, I'll be good. Unless this is too loud, then I'll just turn it down.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man.
I hate him. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Meet all of her harem.
Honey, what do you think?
I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
Sorry. Yeah, I do.
David! Don't mind him, honey.
Ooh, that's an accent. Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him.
Oh, crap, whatever. You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
You know, Forever in Our Hearts is a pretty... They don't even specify a year, which is nice. That's really good for a game. She gave me a quick hug, and I hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the solemn-looking grave that was laid in front of me. Where am I at? I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers, so I mean, there's kind of, you know, flowers everywhere. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong, but right now I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago, underneath the sakura tree. Okay, good, it's not under a sakura tree. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
I'm gonna sync this up. This is 5 minutes. Yeah. So what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go?
Oh, I would love to, but I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes, who is it a toy?
It is. I was designing.
Wow, this sounds like...
But I feel like something's missing.
Oh, whatever, who cares? Of course, this guy sounds like he's not... he's not a... Of course they didn't get a grandpa voice actor, but... He placed the toy in my hands with a smile and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on his chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive and it can be like a little night light. A little night light before you sleep. He strokes his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle. Wait, let me see. Okay, cool.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear.
That's not how... That isn't the order that it says on the text. You're always like my lucky little charm, dear. You freaking... You're awful. You're awful. Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa. An old man.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it.
I want to make auto blows. I want to make blowjob machines. That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it in the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
Right. I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
No, I can't look. He bent down to look at me eye level with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I think I should be a little concerned about it. I heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But oh, Daddy...
Oh, crap. Who gives a crap? I don't care.
Me. We'll stand together to get through it.
No, you won't. You'll be dead. How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here. So stay strong. Promise?
For a moment, he looked almost sad, pleading, but as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise! Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then. Enough of that. How about it?
Oh crap, whatever. Homemade dessert, I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
Ha ha ha, you're dead. You willed me the very home I loved to see you in. Why? Why would you think that I would be ready to take it, especially after this? You son of a bitch. A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you've left me with so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? Talking into a grave? My vision blurred and I suddenly realized that I was crying. You were crying before. You let out a choke sob before. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I'm with you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the grave wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see. God forbid you cry at a relative's funeral.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
No! That is my favorite food. You bitch. You don't get to take it. You don't get to take that away from me. This is the one thing I have. Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak during the entire drive home. Okay, whatever.
It's about time you took off those dreary black clothes.
I keep accidentally pressing enter. Gathering my courage, I decided that then it was time to talk. Dad, could I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why do you want me to move into the estate so soon? Is it so you and Mom can just completely destroy this place with your weird sex?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes?
No. Oh.
Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's so sudden. You just decided so quickly right after the funeral. 1 second. Sorry, I adjusted my pop filter.
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a little bit more about my future. In reply, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
But what if...
Stop mumbling.
But what if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company, our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
He came closer to me and his face softened.
Look, this is all for the best, okay? You may not
I wonder
know
if
it
this
right
conflict
now,
will
but
come
you
up later.
will appreciate it later.
I wonder if this is gonna happen and be more source of conflict later in the game. For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that grandfather passed away and she's got her... she got that face on?
Of course I do.
Well, everything seems fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
It's like nothing even happened at all. Like you just ignored the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me.
Shh, fuck off. What did he ever do to you to deserve this? My father, his face hardened, crossed his arms, and erupted in angry laughter. He is now... I'm not imagining like normal angry laughter. I'm imagining like Higurashi, like insane.
Ha! You sure place him upon a pedestal. Like he's some kind of venerated god or something.
Ooh, nice.
It makes me sick.
Nice thesaurus. Pull out. There you go. Is that it? Are you happy seeing grandfather dead? While everyone was grieving, were you holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's faces? Did you feel just a bit happier seeing him lie in the graveyard? Oh. Ooh. I think maybe child abuse is the good place to stop now. I didn't expect that.